Hello, friends. I am so excited because Absolute is finally here. We got the DC All-In Special. I read it before I read my copy of Absolute Batman issue #1, which I also have a video that'll be coming up in regards to that, or is already live right now, so check that out. I'll put a link somewhere here, somewhere up at the thing. But we got to talk about the DC All-In Special because this is the beginning of the All-In initiative. And I gotta say, I'm definitely all in. After reading this, I'm definitely all in. And this isn't even my favorite part. This is my favorite part. What did I just do? Did I just flip this? This is 2 stories, baby. We got Alpha and Omega, and there's so many things. Okay, let's start. Let me start with the fact that I love this format for the comic. So what you have is on this side, we have the main continuity story, which is Alpha. Yeah, you read this first. Then you're going to get to the midway point, and what's going to happen is everything's going to literally turn upside down. And so you actually have to flip the book upside down, and then you can read the back, which is the Omega story, which is what's happening with Darkseid, because Darkseid appears here. But you probably knew Darkseid was coming, so I don't think that's a major spoiler. But let me just warn you, we are going to be talking spoilers in this issue. So, what happens in this? Well, basically, the beginning story, Alpha, we're setting up that the Justice League Unlimited is coming together. The Justice League has decided everyone should be recruited onto this team. They faced Amanda Waller. They faced all these great threats. And they said, you know what? We need to bring everyone together. We have to all be the biggest team we've ever been. And time for us to unite and usher in this era of peace, according to what Booster Gold remembers of this time. However, that isn't what happens. And Darkseid shows up. And Darkseid is merged with the Spectre. And so Darkseid is insanely powerful. And everyone has to work together to defeat Darkseid, which they do. And then Darkseid disappears. But Darkseid is a constant. So how is this possible? There's also a rift that opens up to another universe, which is crazy because Prime Earth is supposed to be closed off from other universes. And there's a lot to explore. But how did this all come to be? And why is Darkseid here? And why is he merged with the Spectre? What's going on? Well, all of that is answered in the Omega story, which is where we get what Darkseid has been up to, how he comes to be merged with the Spectre, and sort of why this is all happening. And it's all because Darkseid has a plan to get access to more and more power, as he has felt these surges of power lately that are related to events that have been happening in the DC multiverse. And so that's his journey to get that. And that's how we also get, of course, this reality. DC Absolute, everything that's happening with that, which I am so excited to talk to you about. The Absolute stuff is so exciting. I'm most excited for Batman and Wonder Woman, but I have to say, after watching the Absolute Power panel, which turned into talking about all the Absolute Universe stuff that we're getting, I'm also really excited for The Flash. I'm really excited for Green Lantern. And even Superman. Honestly, Superman, they surprised me with some of the choices that they're making, and I'm very curious to see what it's like. I think all of these sound really good at this point. To be honest, I'm excited for everything. It's a problem. I'm even excited for Justice League Unlimited. I'm even excited for that. I'm like, I need to read so many DC things. Oh no, there's too many things I'm excited for. How am I gonna buy all these comics? So I love the unique format of this. I also love in the Alpha story how Booster Gold is a very key player here. Booster does not get enough love in the comics, so I love to see that. And I just love the journey that he's on. I mean, Booster's just so endearing. I know some people find him annoying, but I find him very endearing. I also love that he is the only one that can kind of be sent on this mission. I mean, probably not. We could have probably found some other time travelers, and yet he gets sent on it. It's all on him, and it of course instantly goes wrong.
Oh no!
It's classic. It's classic, but I can't wait to see how it plays out and to follow along on Booster's journey. I think it's also great that we're getting this moment before we get the Booster Gold series, which I think is going to be really fun and fantastic as well, and I'm really excited for it. The live action show, that is. The show. On the TV. I also will say that between these 2 stories, though, although I love Booster Gold, between Alpha and Omega. I obviously preferred Omega. I just love the art. We have Wes Craig on art here, and it's so stunning just visually. I love everything that's happening in here. It's gorgeous, and it's just also really vibrant. Like the colors are also really good. Mike Spicer on colors, crushing it. I love how desperate Darkseid feels here. Like he'll do anything to get this power. I like that he's willing to cut off his own hand, and then he also gets an axe hand, and how cool is that? He's willing to sacrifice his son. He's terrifying. And I know Darkseid is always terrifying, but I mean, he's really terrifying here. Also, I'm not as familiar with Blaze. Blaze made an appearance in here, and it made me want to go back and read like all of the appearances of Blaze, because I just love the design of Blaze. And I know that is like a Prime Earth design. I think this is what Blaze has typically looked like throughout. I mean, obviously in Wes Craig's style, but other than that, I think it's pretty conducive with what we've had before. But at the same time, man, Blaze is just such a cool character. And it's also a really cool concept. Imagining, you know, what's going to happen if Darkseid were to truly die and then leave the sort of only main, I mean, the Prime Earth, and they can't go to where Darkseid might be. They can't go because they're cut off. It's a really cool concept for a story between the Alpha and the Omega, and I really love that this is our setup, because I'm also excited to explore this through the lens of the Prime Earth reality while I follow along with the absolute reality. So I think it's the perfect setup. I just can't wait to read everything. And I love that we are going to have these two realities as they literally establish in this parallel, because we know that our Prime Earth folks can't get there. They're going to be trying to figure out how to do that. And I know eventually there's going to be a crossover, because that's inevitable. We got to have a crossover, and we got to have a crossover, sell those comics. Got to sell those comics, baby. Sell those comics. And I respect that. And I'm be excited for that. And I hope we get a big, long ramp up to that moment, because I am just excited to watch everything that we're building with these two realities as they run side by side until that inevitable moment when they will be forced to collide. It's so exciting to see how we get there, and to see what struggles the Prime Earth is also going to have without Darkseid being there. How is that going to affect their universe? Because Darkseid is supposed to be this constant, and now there is no Darkseid in their universe, if we're to believe what Orion says, which is, you know, Darkseid isn't on Apocalypse. We need to find a new Darkseid, because that's a thing that can't just like not exist. So what does that mean? Is there going to be a new Darkseid? Is it going to mess up the universe? Can't wait to find out. I can't wait to find out everything with how this is going to play out. I'm just so excited. We got X-Men right now over at Marvel, with a lot of exciting stuff going on over there with From the Ashes that I'm really enjoying. We've got Absolute over at DC. There's tons of indie comics out there right now that you should read that are also all amazing. It's just a great time to be a comic book fan, I think. And I haven't felt so excited and so hopeful in a minute. It's been a minute, and I'm glad that I feel this again. Let me know what you're thinking of this start off to the DC All-In initiative with the DC Absolute Universe and everything we're getting with that down in the comments below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Let's talk comics down in the comments. I'll see you next time. Thank you so much for chilling with me. That's it for this one, friends. Thank you so much for watching. Can't wait to see you next time as we continue to go all in. I'll see you then. Until then, stay nerdy.